6 big mistakes that sank the unsinkable Titanic. The RMS Titanic, a marvel of engineering and design in its time, embarked on its maiden voyage in 1912 with a reputation for luxury and invincibility. Christened the Unsinkable ship, it boasted advanced technology, watertight compartments, and a double hull, all designed to ensure its safety. However, a series of critical mistakes and unforeseen circumstances tragically led to the ship's demise on the night of April 14th of 1912. Over 1,500 lives were lost in the disaster, forever etching the name Titanic in history as a symbol of hubris and a cautionary tale. Let's explore the 6 major blunders that unfolded like dominoes, ultimately contributing to the sinking of the Titanic. Mistake 6. A deadly miscalculation. Insufficient lifeboats. One of the most shocking shortcomings of the Titanic was the inadequate number of lifeboats. Maritime regulations at the time were based on outdated tonnage calculations, prioritizing the size and cargo capacity of a ship over the number of people it could carry. Despite the Titanic's immense size, it only had enough lifeboats to accommodate a fraction of its passengers and crew, a total of 1,178 people. This left a staggering majority, over 1,500 souls, without a chance of survival in the event of a disaster. To make matters worse, only 20 out of the 22 lifeboats were filled to capacity during the evacuation, further reducing the number of people saved. This critical error stemmed from a misplaced reliance on outdated regulations and a belief that the unsinkable ship wouldn't need such extensive life-saving measures. This miscalculation would have devastating consequences. Mistake 5. A message unheeded. Disregarded iceberg warnings. During the Titanic's voyage, several radio messages from other ships warned of icebergs in the path ahead. Tragically, these warnings were either not properly communicated to Captain Edward Smith or dismissed due to an overconfidence in the ship's ability to navigate through ice fields. One such crucial message, sent just hours before the disaster from the steamer Californian, explicitly mentioned an iceberg field directly in the Titanic's path. However, this message was relayed to a junior officer who failed to grasp its urgency and didn't pass it on to Captain Smith. Additionally, a prevailing culture of pushing speed records in transatlantic crossings may have contributed to the captain's decision to maintain a high cruising speed despite the warnings. This disregard for the dangers posed by icebergs proved to be a fatal mistake. Mistake 4. A hidden weakness, flawed rivets, and brittle steel. The construction of the Titanic's hull involved a specific type of rivet, low-grade wrought iron. While steel was the preferred material for shipbuilding at the time, some historians believe cost-cutting measures led to the use of this weaker material in certain sections of the hull, particularly towards the bow, where the iceberg made contact. When the Titanic struck the iceberg, the impact caused these iron rivets to shatter, leading to larger tears in the ship's hull than would have occurred with stronger steel rivets. These tears allowed seawater to flood multiple compartments at an alarming rate, significantly compromising the ship's buoyancy and hastening its demise. The decision to prioritize cost savings over material quality exposed a hidden weakness in the Titanic's supposedly invincible design. Mistake 3. Blinded by the night. Lack of binoculars for lookouts. The lookouts stationed in the crow's nest, responsible for spotting hazards like icebergs, were not equipped with binoculars. This seemingly minor oversight had a significant impact during the critical hours before the collision. The night was clear but dark, and the lookouts relied solely on their eyesight to scan the vast expanse of ocean. An iceberg, especially one partially submerged, would be difficult to spot with the naked eye, especially from a distance. Had the lookouts been equipped with binoculars, the iceberg might have been sighted much sooner, providing Captain Smith with more time to react and potentially avoid the collision altogether. The lack of this essential tool proved to be a critical blunder in the face of potential danger. Mistake 2. Pushing the limits, ignoring speed limits. In a bid to achieve a record-breaking transatlantic crossing and capitalize on the publicity surrounding the ship's maiden voyage, Captain Smith reportedly pushed the Titanic to sail at speeds exceeding recommended limits for the icy waters of the North Atlantic. While there is no definitive proof of a direct order to increase speed, some accounts suggest Captain Smith may have encouraged a faster pace. These higher speeds left less room for maneuver when the iceberg was sighted, making a collision more likely. Additionally, the increased speed made it more difficult to stop the massive ship in time once the danger was spotted. This emphasis on speed, fueled by a desire for prestige and bragging rights, ultimately came at a terrible cost. Mistake 1. A captain under pressure. Captain Smith's decisions. While Captain Edward Smith was an experienced mariner with a long and distinguished career, some of his decisions on that fateful night have been scrutinized and debated. The pressure to achieve a record-breaking crossing may have influenced his judgment regarding speed and course corrections. There are also questions about the delayed reaction to the iceberg sighting. By the time the bridge received word of the imminent collision, it was too late to take evasive maneuvers. Additionally, the evacuation process was chaotic and poorly organized, with a disproportionate number of women and children being ushered onto lifeboats first, leaving many men to perish in the frigid waters. Captain Smith, undoubtedly overwhelmed by the unfolding disaster, remained on the sinking ship until the very end. Some have praised his loyalty and commitment to his duty, while others have questioned his leadership during the crisis. Regardless of the specific decisions made, the weight of responsibility for the hundreds of lives lost undoubtedly rested heavily on Captain Smith's shoulders. The sinking of the Titanic remains a poignant scar on human history. A symbol of supposed invincibility, the ship succumbed to a series of unfortunate events and critical mistakes, taking over 2,500 lives with it. The disaster serves as a stark reminder of the importance of prioritizing safety over speed and prestige. It underscores the need for clear communication, adherence to regulations, and a culture of caution in the face of potential danger. The story of the Titanic is not just about a ship, it's about human ambition, hubris, and the devastating consequences of unchecked optimism. By learning from the tragedy, we can strive to create a future where safety is paramount and such devastating losses are never repeated. The legacy of the Titanic lives on, not in its grand design or luxurious amenities, but in the lessons it offers about preparedness, responsibility, and the fragility of human life. Thank you for joining us as we explored the 6 big mistakes that sank the unsinkable Titanic. If you'd like to learn more about this historical disaster, we recommend checking out the following resources. Insert a list of relevant resources here. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, stay safe and curious.